What's up, everyone? We have another unboxing for you today, right here, and we're at the official, super official unboxing tree in my backyard. You saw the thumbnail, you read the title, you already know what's in this box, so today we are unboxing the brand new Riley Defense 762x39 Krink. Let's go ahead and get into it. That's exactly how it came to me. There's your box. All right, let's take a look. So don't mind this being a little ripped up. I actually had to open it up to log it into our FFL. So there's that. But this is virtually how it came. That's what the box looks like. And the only thing that came in it was Magpul magazine for 922R and gun. And there you have it. Chamber flag included. Looks like an AK. More importantly, it looks like a Krink, but what can I say about this thing before we really start to take a look at it? And don't mind that, I actually opened that up. We'll talk about that in a second. I didn't see this gun coming at all. I think they posted about this gun on their Instagram months ago, and then all of a sudden they were like at SHOT Show ready to ship. So we actually met Riley Defense at SHOT Show, and more specifically, I met a guy there named Ramsey. And if you haven't seen our SHOT Show coverage of the Riley Defense booth, it was pretty eye-opening. We learned a few things there. Number one, we learned that Ramsey's honestly a pretty rad dude, very passionate about AKs, and was very happy to talk our ear off and nerd out about AKs, and it was refreshing. And while all of like the very like white American people stood in the background and didn't know what the hell we were talking about, Ramsey knew exactly what he was talking about and wanted to talk AKs. That was refreshing. It wasn't like some pretty girl they had stand next to AKs and point and couldn't really talk intelligently about them. Like, Ramsey was pretty rad. And that's the first time I ever met anyone at Riley Defense. So anyway, had an awesome conversation and had a fun time at their booth. And they had all of these Krinks on display. It's pretty damn interesting. Because what else has come out right now? You know, the PSA Krink is kind of what everyone's talking about. So it's like in the same month, in the same year, you had two American companies come out with two Krinks. 762 and the PSA Krink is in 556. And this is something totally out of left field. And I know that Riley makes a lot of small parts that actually a lot of manufacturers use, believe it or not. So, yeah. And another thing that was really cool at SHOT Show, they showed us the raw forgings. They're forging the bolts. They're forging the carriers even. Not everyone forges their carriers. So cold hammer forge, bolt, and carriers. So full transparency, everyone's going to want to know, yes, Riley Defense sent us this. I think they sent this thing to very few people, really like only people that actually came by their booth and acted like they cared about AKs. I know that Mark at Fit and Fire got one of these. I know that Jacob at AK Quality Enforcement got one of these. I don't know of anyone else. And I know those dudes eat, sleep, and breathe AK, so it's kind of cool that, you know, if they were going to send these things, they didn't send them to like the big box YouTube channels that get anything and everything come across their desk to get like a video on it. So they asked if I wanted to review one, and I said, you know what, why the hell not? I've really had my eyes opened up wide lately by some AKs that I was told I really shouldn't like. And this is coming from a guy that has arsenals, has Russian Saigas, has really nice Yughos, Polish AKs. I've got a Type 3. I've got all kinds of cool stuff. And I've got an FFL and an SOT. We've got crazy machine guns. We just had PSLs built. Like, I have a lot of nice stuff. So I don't want anyone to think that I like need to shill for free stuff at all. I don't need it. I really don't. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but what I'm trying to convey is this gun being sent to me, like, I don't owe them any favors. I don't need to give them a good review to stay in their good graces. Like, I don't need to get this gun for free. But full transparency, it was sent. So now that we got that out of the way, let's take a deep dive and look at it, and then we'll kind of talk about what I plan on doing with it. They do sell these things ready to go for triangle folders and like polymer stocks, and they use a 4.5 pin. I remember him saying that at SHOT Show, so, you know, you can actually put surplus in here if you have like Bulgarian stuff. Russian stuff's not going to fit. That's 5.5. but there's a lot of aftermarket that supports 4.52, so that's kind of cool. Setup for optics. Mag paddle looks a little longer than factory, and it is already cut with the stock latch. The handguards are definitely unique to this gun. Never seen anything like that. The lower handguard has no rattle. Of course, the top, maybe just a little. I don't see anything that just jumps out at me. Pretty uniform, nice and flat. I don't see any air in between them. They come with this 4-piece booster. I'm pretty sure they're manufacturing these themselves. At least that's what I was told. Kind of cool that it comes with one. I've never owned a 4-piece before, so it's kind of cool having one now. And of course, this is going to have the 24mm right-hand thread pitch. So your standard like 100 series style thread pitch. I will say the sights do look straight. I mean, what do you guys think? They look pretty damn straight to me. Not super common for AKs to have straight iron sights. It is cool seeing proof stamps and all that and receivers, but this virtually has nothing. Maybe that's just why it looks a little, just like a little blah. But I mean, Krinks on their own look badass, but there's just like nothing going on there. Even, I just noticed that even the serial number is not on the trunnion. Unless it's under the dust cover, which I doubt. No, it's not there. Definitely need to polish that hammer face up a little bit. And I was talking with Fit and Fire and AK Quality. I think their bolt does the same thing. It can get stuck on the trigger face. Kind of a common thing for AKs. But what's happening there is it actually gets stuck on the hammer face, the part that actually impacts the firing pin. Sometimes that can be a little rough, and your carrier can get stuck on it. And that gets stuck on it very easy. But it usually slicks up with time. Looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? It does look exactly like a Krebs safety. That is not a Krebs safety, though. Pretty sure this is what they make in-house. And it's very tight. It's going to need to be tuned slightly. Yeah, I can't push it down there. It's a little too tight. You do get the notch where full auto would be, but it does go all the way down to the bottom for semi. Pretty light, actually. Long reset, very nice. Very nice break. Long reset, though. And one thing I noticed, I remember Ramsey was telling me this at SHOT Show, that their top cover and iron sight's a little different than factory Krinks. These are actually like, they can be sold as separate parts. Like it was designed in a way that if someone had a Krink kit and they only needed the cover or they only needed the sight, that these pieces can be sold separately. Which is why the mechanism that it mounts up, like it's a little bit different here. It's got these two big rivets that actually hold it on. A little different than a factory Krink, so that is not a total cloned correct thing, but he said they did that for a reason. At SHOT Show, they actually had raw forgings of the carrier and the bolt. So it's common knowledge that these are forged parts. And they almost look blued. I'm not even sure what kind of a finish that is. It's like kind of a pretty blue finish. Piston head looks very Russian, so no rings. Just kind of flat on the sides of the piston head there. Fairly clean tooling marks. I don't know if you can see that there. Oh. It's got one of those little guys. Nice. If you know, you know. Now the bolt. Looks like an AKM style bolt with the lightning cuts. Kind of like a Romanian bolt. Spring-loaded firing pin. It's that firing pin. Nothing is serialized. There's no model number, no serial number. So the parts are like just it's like they're not really matched to the gun with serial numbers. It's totally free of any markings, of any proof stamps, of any serial numbers on anything, really. It's just the receiver on the bottom of it. That's where I saw any at all. There's your gas tube. Everything's nice and clean. A little bit of oil here and there. Let me see if I can actually get this. Oh, I can. There we go. That came off very easy. There's your heat shield and your very unique lower handguard. Just looking for like proof stamps. This sucker feels thick. Look how thick that metal is reinforcing it. That is very thick. You can see there. Got a little bit of rust. It's like some sort of crust. Yeah. Oh yeah, see, it just like wipes right off. It smells like some sort of like a, almost has like a cosmoline kind of smell to it. But it's just wiping off. Yeah, whatever that crust was, it's all coming off. I know that like back in the day, like Yugo M70s and stuff would come in and they would have like bluing salts all over them, which this might be bluing salts because this gun does look like it's blued in certain places. So it could just be that. I don't know. See your spring mechanism there. I know that's very hard to see, but the bore is pretty clean. Pin just comes right out. There's that little filler piece. All right, now that we can really play with this thing, it does take Bulgarian parts quite well, I'll have you know. American made, Bulgarian, 4.5. Take notes. Surplus steel mag. Let's go ahead and see if that works. Pretty easy, honestly. It actually flows in and out very nice. Really no movement. So steel mags are definitely a go. Got an X-Tech mag here. That's Morty. Perfectly fine. Pretty good. Bulgarian Circle 10 mag. That one felt a little tight. Might have just been me. Feels really good. Looks really good. Getting Arsenal vibes. The mag pull that it came with fits really good. And then what really matters, Russian bakelite. Very nice. Bakelite's a little tight, but nice. The most important is the Romanian top loader. 30 round drum mag. Big old 30 round mag. We wouldn't dare put a mag in here that holds more than that. YouTube. Oh, that one's a little tight, but damn. That looks pretty sick. Pretty sick indeed. So we're not going to shoot it in this video. This is merely just an unboxing, mag compatibility, kind of that whole thing. Next video that you're going to see, we are going to shoot the balls off this thing, as I like to do on this channel, with my own ammo. My own parts are going to go on this thing, my own optics, my own stuff. So, yeah. Can't wait to freaking do that. And I think there's a point to this gun, and several of the American AKs out there. I just want to prove a point here. If you look in my safe, you won't find a single American-made AK. Not one. And there's a big reason for that. Like, I appreciate really nice, well-made AKs. I know the value of imports. I love AKs. I love the history that they have. There's a lot of reasons people got into AKs, and the history, the country of origin, a lot of that has to do with it. But I'm fortunate enough to have come from a time when really nice imports were cheap and available, and I benefited from that. Got a lot of cool guns in the safe at a fraction of the cost for what it would cost people to redo those today, to rebuy them, rebuild them, whatever. I benefited from better AK times when it comes to imports. So, current state of things, right? Big portion of the AK community does not like anything having to do with American made AKs, American made manufacturers, the PSAs, the Pioneer Arms, the Rileys, to the point where they like wish failure upon these companies. That part I just don't get. I don't understand wishing failure on companies like that. And this is coming from a guy that probably wouldn't buy the American stuff because I have all the imports. But, you know, I have really learned to not judge a book by its cover anymore when it comes to some of these companies, and not just go with the hive mind that the AK community, not all of it, but some of it, wants you to buy into. So I think about all the new guys getting into this hobby that want a Krink experience. There's no way they could afford a Bulgarian or Russian Krink. I can't afford a Bulgarian or Russian Krink if I really wanted one right now. You kind of had to be there at the time when they were available for that price. If someone wants to buy an American AK, who cares? Doesn't affect you at all in your life. Doesn't affect me. I've got my imports. What do I care? But I am very interested to see if these American AKs can provide that experience that is completely unattainable to new guys getting into the hobby that can't afford the Krinks from Bulgaria or Russia, that can't afford some of the really cool Gucci AKs that they're just not around anymore. So I'm rooting for the companies, man. I got no reason not to, you know. So I have no problem reviewing stuff like this on this channel. So join me, won't you, as we shoot the balls off this thing and just see what it's like. See what the money gets you. All right, that's all I have for you today. And you guys tell me, let me know down in the comments, what do you think about these Riley Krinks? And what do you think about the AK community in general right now, or the current state of being an AK guy? Not a lot of imports coming in. American AKs are being ramped up. Tons of them are being made, all new variants. Kind of crazy times. What do you guys think about it? Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. We were going quite fast there.